Hello, everyone. My name is Kwafan M. Osonduve, a graduate of Mathematics Computer Science. I've been in the teaching profession for 5 to 6 years now, and I've been teaching both mathematics and computer science. Though my focus has been in 3 areas of computer science, which are programming, data analysis, and machine learning. Currently, I am teaching in Aptech Computer Education. Here, I have the opportunity to be teaching a good number of subjects or courses, which include data analysis, programming, cybersecurity, office automation, and inferential statistics. Today, I will be taking you in introduction to C programming. So one may ask, why do I choose C programming other than other language? I've chosen C programming for this class because of its simplicity. The C is very simple to understand. It has a very wonderful structure that even beginners can understand, and it serves as an intermediary between high level and low level language. Even other programming languages borrow code syntax from C programming. So without much ado, let me share my screen so that we can be able to understand more. So here with me, I have the basics of C programming. At the end of this course, it is expected, or section, it is expected that you should know what C programming is, explain the syntax and structure of C programming, understand what variables and data types are. So here is the stages of C programming. The first of it is pre-processing stage. The preprocessor is the first stage of the C programming, where we have next is the compilation stage, the assembly stage, the linking stage, and the execution stage. Time may not permit me to explain each of these stages, but we will do that in the next class. Now, this is the structure of C programming. And the structure, like I said, this is the preprocessor stage. Now, at this stage, we have what we call hash include. This tells the operative system that you are using C programming. It helps the operative system to recognize C. Then we have the next thing here is the standard library that we have. You must include the standard library. We have different standard library, but this is the one I've chosen to use in this class and one of the simplest. Here means standard input output. It means we'll be using function that relate to you inputting data on the keyboard and displaying it on the screen. And H here means header. It's just standard input output header. Now, the next stage here is int. We have int main. This is a function. This is a function. Int is a data type. We have integer, we have character, we have void, we have string, we have float, and all of that. So that is it. So here is a function. We have a function name and open and close parentheses. This is how you identify what a function is. A function has a function name and open and close parentheses. Within this function, within the open and close bracket, a function can have what we call a parameter within here. And what is the essence of using function? Function helps reduce repetition in writing code. So let's take note of that. And a function has a body. Within here, you can see this is the body of a function. It has curly brace, open, and close. And within the curly brace, we have what? We have what we call the declaration and initialization state. Thereafter, we have what we call the statements, and we have return value. If you look carefully, we understand that each line of code within the curly braces, that is the body of the function, we have what? It ends with a semicolon. Look at it very well. It ends with what? A semicolon. You must not omit this. And a function returns a value. That is why you see here return what? 0. So let's take note of that. If you use void here, it may not return what? Any value. So let me proceed. Next is what we call comments. So what are comments? Comments can be used to explain code. They are just meant for readability for the user or for the programmer or any other person that may have access to your code, but it does not compile. It does not compile. So here, and we have two types of comments, which is the single line comment and the double line comment. How are we going to identify the two? We identify the single line comment with what? With this and forward, two forward and slash. And the multiple line comment begins with a slash and asterisk, and you also close it here. So that is it. Now, we have what we call variables. So what are variables? Variables are containers for storing data values. Or we can say it's a memory space for storing what? Data values, like numbers and character. So we have a syntax of writing variable. Here we begin with the type, that is the data type of the variable, then the name of the variable. Then we have the assignment operator. We have different types of assignment operator. And we have what we call the value. And it ends with what? With a column, a semicolon. So these are the rules of writing or naming variables in C. When writing variables, a variable must contain a letter, a digit, and underscore. The variable must begin with a letter or an underscore, not a digit. So take note of that. It is very case sensitive. What you have written in small letter is different from what you have written in small letters. And we have variables cannot contain white spaces and special characters other than underscore. So take note of that. So if I should write the variable name, it means there should be no space here. If you must leave space, ensure you put underscore. I hope that is understood. Now we have what we say that variable have reserved should not be. You don't write variable names using what? Reserved words. C programming have about 32 reserved words, which time may not permit me to list all of them, but understand that there are keywords that you don't use them as what? Variable names. Now, the next thing I want to introduce you to is data types. We have different types of data types. We have integer. We have integer as a data type. We have float as a data type. We have double as a data type. We have character as a data type. Character are differentiated into two. This is how it is. You have a single character, multiple of characters. We call them strings. So they are indicated with a double code. And these are the examples of integer. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the spaces which they occupy on a memory. Now we have a float. A float can be 0.0.9, anything with any numerical value with a decimal point. Now we also have a float which also have a numerical value with a decimal point. What differentiates this float and double is the number of precision. Why this float can be only up to 6 and 7 precision, and this can be what can be up to 15. It means you see up this one up to what up to 15, 14, 15 thereabout. So that is it. Now the next thing is what? Format identifier. Format identifier here make references to what? The data types that we have. If you are using a print function, then you must do what? Use format identifier for them to locate each of the data type. So if you are using integer, you use %d or %I. If you are using float, we use %F. It can be small or capital letter. Double, you use %LF. Character, you use %C. And string, which is always in double quote, you use %S. So let's take note of that. If there are any question, then you can, as if there are none, let's go on hands-on session. Now, I will be using an IDE, that is integrated environment, integrated development environment. So please take note of that. So what we use integrated development environment for? We use it to write our code, to edit our code, to compile our code, and to execute our code or program. So this is the IDE that I will be using, the code block. There are several others, but I've chosen to use code block for its simplicity as well. So now, this is the environment of C of IDE, the code block. Here, if you are creating a project for the first time, you can click here. If you have already existing project and you want to revisit or work on, you can click on open an existing project. You can also come on the file menu and click here, go to point at new, go to project. It will still take you to this place. Then when you click here, a new environment opens. And here you see a dialog box. Here, our concern is on this console application. You can either double click here or click once and go click on go. Once you click on go, another environment opens. So you see another dialog box. From here, we have two languages. We choose C programming. You click next. You write the project title. Now, the project title here is what? Is variable. I can write variable underscore type. Let me say data type. That is the main thing that I want us to do today. So I will write data types here as my project name. Then I will follow by the folder path. This is the folder path. Is identified automatically. If yours is not having this, you can easily click on this three dot and they will open a file explorer. From the file explorer, you can create a new folder, name it C or name it any other, name the file. Let me just stop at that, name the file. But since we have our path located, I will just click next. From there, you choose the name of the compiler. Understand that C programming has a compiler. That is a software that translates C programming into machine language. We all understand that computers do not understand high-level language. They only understand machine language. So we need a translator, which is what? The compiler, to compile the code or the program you have written in high-level language into machine language for computer to understand. So I will click next. Then let's wait for the environment to open, and we'll run our first C program. Now, you see the project name that I've created. You can see it here at the management section. So you'll be managing everything here. We have the menu bar. Look at the menu bar here. We have some other tools here. Here, you can use this thing to build your code, to run your code. You can build and run your code at the same time here. If these two are inactive, you can just click these to abort them. Then they become active. While I wait for this, okay, let me click here. If I click here, you see under your source, you will see main.word.c. Just click on it and your first program, a default nature, will open. Now, when this thing opens, let's run our first program. You can just click on build. When you build in C, you must build before you do what you run. So I'll build. If there is no error at this stage, then you go back to go and run. You see my run is inactive. I will abort it and I will come back, build it again. And still inactive. What is there? Okay, let me abort it and run it. Yes, this one is not working. It has, okay, now, okay, let me use this one and run it. Now you can see my program, we run successfully without any error. So you can see here, yes, see hello world on the wall on the screen displayed. Now, let me take time to explain what's happening. This is the pre-processing stage that I mentioned earlier. If you can watch it, if you can see it, look at it here. I think I explained earlier on. Then this is a function name started by what? By int. We have the function. This is the block of the function. Have you seen it? Here, we don't have a variable declare or initialize. We have the print function. This is also a print function. Remember, I told you the only way you can identify a function is a function has a function name. Here is a printf, and it has a word, an open and close parentheses. Look at the open and close parentheses here. And within it, we have what we call the parameter. See the parameter. So this is what is going to be printing on the screen. And that is what you have seen there. Now, it ends with what? It ends with a semicolon. So now I want to write another program. So I can easily come here. Let me write a very simple program and explaining what variable is and what integer is or are. Now, I will come here, I will write my name. This is a variable name. Remember the rules of writing variables. I can say my name is also correct, but let me say a name here. Let me write name. I will say equal to, and I will write what? I will write here, let's say I've written Amos here, and I will end with what? A semicolon. Remember, I have not included the data type. So the data type of this one is character. So I will include character. And because this is a string value, I will also include this. So let's take note of that. So this is how to write a string. You must include an array. This will allow you to write many characters. Then the next one is what? Is another data type was integer. So this is the data type. Then I will write age. Have you seen age? Equal to. Age does not need any quotation. So I will say maybe 35 years. I will write that. I will go to the next line, which is float. I've written float here equal to, and the variable name can be average. Let's say I've written average as this, and this one will be in point. Let's say I've say 70.35, and I will give what? Semicolon. Let me adjust this. Yes. I will also click here and I will write a character. Character here can be gender. There is the variable, the data type. Again, I will write gender. Gender here can be what? Can be a F. In this case, this one will just be a single character. Remember, I told you single characters are always written with one single code, while a combination of many characters are in double code. And that is what differentiates this character and this character. If you look at this one has this, because you'll be writing a string value, while this one is on, you don't need to put what this block brace here. So that is just it, and you must ensure you must end with what? With a semicolon. Now I want to print, so I can just edit this. I can edit this. Inside here, I will make reference. For me to print this thing on the screen, I must ensure I reference them. So I will say, let me write my name. My name is, to write Amos, I will not write Amos. I will use format identifier. I will just write percentage word, because I'm referencing my name, which is a word, a character. I will use, it's a string value in this case, because it's in double quote. I will write S here. Then next, my name is Amos. I am what, 35 years old. So I will just say 30. Instead of writing 35, I will also use format identifier as well as D, because it's a word. My variable here carries an integer. So I'm going to write either D or I. So I am what? I am 35 years. Let me write years here. Years old. So that is it. So I can also continue with my this thing, a student, or let me say a male student. A male student with average. Now I want to reference average. I can write this format identifier average as what? As float. So I will write F with average. Let me write with average of, then this one will display. Now, after writing this, let me end it with what? With a full stop. Yes, I will end it with a full stop. I must do a comma to separate this. Then reference the word, each of the variable name that I've listed here. So I will copy that one and paste there, separate it with comma. Come again, I've used average at my print function. I will still copy this and paste it there. Comma again, I've used what again? I've used average. Yes, age and average. Yes, I will still copy this and come and paste here. These are the ones that I've used up here. So I can now run my program and it will display on the screen. Now, before I run the program, understand that the variable name must vary. The same thing, the variable names that you use here must vary with what you have written here. Remember, we say variable names are case sensitive. So you don't write a small letter here and you come to write what? A capital letter here, it will throw an error. So let me abort this program. Then I can either build and run or build and run at the same time. So let me build and run at the same time so that you see it displayed on the screen. Now, you can see here, my name is what? Amos. I am 35 years old, a male student with, an average of 70.333 this. Now, notice what I've told you. If you look at this is the precision of float. It has how many this thing after the decimal point? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if you use double, it will be more than this. If you use double, it will be more than that. So let's take, I want to also make it into 2 decimal points. I will decide to say 0.2 here. And if I run it, you will see a different thing altogether. And let me build it again and run. So you see that what we were having, the decimal point were long. They have now reduced to what? 70.35. I hope you have seen it. So that is it. Now, I want to also break this thing to come back to the next line. If I want that, I can easily use, okay, all right. Okay, I don't have that one. Let me just copy from here. I will copy, that is what I am needing. Is inactive on my keyboard. I will just come here and I will click here. Let me write it here. Yes, and put N. That is move to the next line. I will also run it. Let me run it again and build so that you will see how the result would look like. Yes, it has shown no error. It means it's going to display successfully. See, my name is what? Is Amos. I am 35 years old, a male student with average of what? 70.35. So this is my introduction to C programming. We have much more to do, but because of time, I will be ending this class here. Thank you, and God bless you. If there is any other question you have, you can just type at the comment section and you let me know. I will answer you when I have much time.